Hello there, my name is Murden.
Hi there, I'm Jonathan South.
Hi, I'm Simon Grant.
Well, now you've met the team of the three of us, one thing we all have in common is we're all retired police officers and we're all lecturers here at the University of Bedfordshire on the professional policing degree.
This course is aimed at everybody really. It's not just sort of traditional entry routes, it's not just 18, 19-year-olds. We welcome returners to education, people who are wanting a career change. And we do have a couple of older students on this degree who have sort of had a little bit of time out. So generally, my units are one called Policing and Society, which is all about misconduct, corruption, how police officers should behave and some of the history of policing. And then we move on to criminal legislation and police powers. So we look at things like powers of arrest or making an arrest and stop and search. And then moving on to some sort of legislation-based learning, things like theft, burglary, criminal damage. And then in year 2, we've got a new unit this year, which is community policing, so some of our second years are learning more about that.
For the first year students, I teach them some very basic academic skills, and we also look at something called the National Decision Model, which is something that will reappear for the 3 years that they're here and for most of their police career as well. And then for the second year students, I've been teaching concept of evidence-based policing, and up until very recently, we've been teaching initial scene attendance and what to do when you get called to a crime scene, so very practical subjects.
So I cover a number of units. 2 of the units that I cover are something called complexities and contradictions, which is where we have complex investigations and what comes into play during those. In addition to that, I do roads policing, and I specialise in safeguarding children. So what I try and do is put some safeguarding input into all of the units that I cover.
Well, it's a professional degree first and foremost, so it leads to a profession in policing. It's one of the new entry routes into policing alongside the apprenticeship and the degree holder entry programme. So the employability is excellent with a course like this, so it leads directly into employment if our graduates are obviously successful in applying and getting a job with the police force of their choice. Not all students will go into policing though, or into the role of a police officer. So some of our students already are going on to postgrad studies, or that they're joining an organisation, taking an investigative function as a civilian, or perhaps a PCSO role. But we've also had students join other organisations, either within criminal justice or elsewhere. So the employability is excellent with a course like ours.